That was the most fun I've had with this game, even though one could argue this was so basic, wasn't it? So basic, so impromptu, and yet, look who had fun with something so basic. Role-playing games. Can we talk about D&D?
What's the latest?
All right. Guess I'll see you in class.
Word.
Yeah, we have nothing to talk about, apparently. Victoria's gone, there's nothing here, it's the only choice I have.
If I'm late to class, that's just one more excuse for Mom to sick David on me.
Yes, it is, yes, it is. I don't think there's anything else you can do. You know, the only thing that worries me over here is that I have this. But then again, it says drama nerds, so it's probably not in this location. It's probably not those nerds, those are different nerds. And besides, I have already used this location for a bit of her artistic input, so I don't think I have to worry about that necessarily. Well, look! No, stop! I wanted to look at the...
What the hell?
What have you got here? Twitch?
Hey, you leave Warren out of this.
Call me that!
True
No, sorry,
north.
that's Nathan. That's Nathan
Jack's so
Prescott.
dumb, he makes jocks look bad. Guess Nathan Prescott made the shit list.
Oh, wow. This is some really weird crap, Prescott.
Oh no.
It's not yours. Give it back! I hate that you're on the team now. You're such a loser.
Guys, no need to fight. You can both be losers.
The mute speaks? Whoa! You earn a spot on the squad, Twitch. You don't have your dad try to buy off the coach.
At least my family pays tuition. How much financial aid does your deadbeat dad need again?
Wow. Dick move, Nathan.
My dad lost his job at the shipyard when your dad closed it down. And you want to talk shit to me?
Yes.
Leave Nathan alone!
Oh.
You know something, Prescott? I'm gonna do you a favor. You can't be a part of the team and be into this stupid crap at the same time.
Oh, don't you dare.
You're a piece of shit. I am going
Stop
to
it!
kill you.
You guys, stop!
Chloe, please
Chloe,
do something! Don't just stand there watching! Step in, Chloe, for goodness'
The
sake!
only way to stop a bully is to be aggressive. I've got to put Drew down.
Please.
Back off, idiot.
What the hell did you just say to me?
Idiot. You're not used to a word that big, are you? Don't be scared.
You're seriously defending Nathan Prescott?
Congrats. You've actually got me feeling sorry for Arcadia Bay's most spoiled brat. That's how much of an asshole you're being right now.
You're such a crazy freak. Mind your own business.
What's crazy is that you haven't been held back yet. How is that possible?
You want a piece of this?
Please. Kicking your ass is going to be a piece of cake.
Did you just laugh?
I did. Chloe just owned you.
Shut the fuck up, fresh meat.
Oh,
You shut the fuck up.
we...
Go Samantha.
You got Samantha to laugh at you, dude.
Guess you got lucky this time, Prescott. Had two girls show up to save you. Take your pervy picture book.
Are you okay?
You think I need help? From you?
You're welcome.
Are you alright? Thanks for sticking up for him. People think just because of his family.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. What is it?
Everything okay here?
No, not exactly.
No problem, Skip.
Come on. There was a physical altercation over here. Do you seriously insist on keeping the security out of this? This is not the sort of... whatever. What? Respond to her, please. Glad we talked. Me too. I know you're doing your best. Love you. Love you too, Mom. Whatever. Look, I mean, I've played the previous game. You don't have to tell me about Nathan Prescott, and you don't have to tell me what happens to Chloe Price as far as Nathan Prescott is concerned. That was interesting. It was quite interesting. For a moment, though, I thought some sort of a romance might blossom between Nathan and Samantha, but what, Past Vestin? What's the problem? I mean, there might, but if it does, it's going to end poorly for Samantha, and it'll explain why we never saw her as Maxine. Oh dear. Another entry, huh? I'll have a look at that soon enough. Yeah, look at this.
I would sacrifice a goat to Jeremiah Blackwell himself if it meant I'd be leaving here in a month.
He'll be leaving here reasonably soon. Chloe Price. Okay, and after that rude intermezzo.
I'm officially out of excuses to stay out here. Must mean it's chemistry time.
Wait, is basically everyone gone? Well, I haven't talked to this guy, I guess. Well, no, they're not gone. Has everything grown desaturated all of a sudden? Or are my eyes just playing tricks on me? Yes, she will soon decorate all of this with Rachel Amber posters. Do I want to talk to Elliot? Fine, let's talk to Elliot a bit.
See you in class.
Wow, we've had a good conversation here. Last thing to say to Justin?
All right, Chloe. Better head in. Chemistry won't bore itself.
Chloe, what's the latest?
All right. Guess I'll see you in class.
Word.
Maybe there was a possible interaction, maybe there was not. Can you actually talk to Skip about this entire situation?
Hey, stay out of trouble.
Trying my best here. Alright, fine, we're going to class. We've got chemistry.
That pic would actually make a sweet tattoo. Maybe if I delay going inside long enough, Blackwell will be overrun by future excellence. And by future excellence, I mean mole people.
Get inside.
Oh, good. You're here.
What? Wait, what am I being dragged into? What the hell?
I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your hest to say so.
Good.
Admired Miranda, indeed worth what's dearest in the world. Many a lady I have eyed with best regard, and many a time have listened to...
What?
Many a time the harmony of their tongues
You suck.
hath I listened to.
Hayden, you're killing me. You've had weeks to be off book.
Sorry, Mr. Keaton.
No, don't apologize to me. Apologize to your scene partner who's been very accommodating, and to your other fellow actors, and most of all, to yourself.
Maybe I
Mr.
can...
Keaton, sorry to interrupt, but does this look better? I had my mom take it in a bit.
It's beautiful. Why is it
Rachel
torn?
looks awesome.
But yes, this is Rachel Amber
This is
in...
getting as surreal as last night.
Oh, yes it is.
Looking good, Rach.
Very cool.
Exquisite Rachel, as always.
Mr. Keaton, I'm still having trouble with... My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man. I mean, does she really mean that?
Especially because I just straight out told her I've been banging all the ladies.
Yeah, that is hard. We've talked about that line forever. We need a fresh perspective.
But I... No, I don't want
The
to...
question is, are Miranda's feelings of instant passion for Ferdinand just inexperience in dramatic circumstances, or has she actually just met the love of her life?
Hey,
What do you think?
I wanted to quit the game, okay? I wanted to quit the game right here, right now, and restart tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Miranda's an idiot. It's true love. Miranda's an idiot.
Festin! No! Stop! Think!
Festin! Festin! Hello! Little attention here. Little attention. Here you have Miranda, right? The fictional character who has just met someone and is head over heels. Okay, right? And the question is, well, is this because Miranda is a moron? Or is it because she has just actually met her true love? Think for a moment, think. Rachel Amber has just met Chloe Price. We are not answering a question about Miranda, at least not exclusively. If I answer as I would love to, oh, Miranda's just an idiot. I mean, come on, you've just been getting... No, this might just have profound consequences outside of the play. No, she's not being naive. It is true love.
Sometimes, when you meet someone who's going to change your life, you just know it, I guess.
Look into her eyes, yes.
Also, you've got parents coming to see the show, right? At $20 a ticket, it's gotta be true love.
Wow. A romantic and a cynic. That actually kind of helps me. Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Keaton.
Pepe!
See you later, guys.
Oh no. I have first period improv with a class full of freshmen now.
Yes. Hello there, handsome.
I'll just be a minute.
Okay, so why am I here again?
Because you wanna...
Could you grab my belt for me? I think it's in my bag over there.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be... Okay, just freeform camera.
Okay, get the belt. Don't say any stupid shit and don't, like, fall down. Should be doable, right?
Wow. I mean, look who's smitten. She is in love. Anyway, I'm leaving things off here, but I will presumably splice things soon enough, so I will be back. I will be back. She's so in love. And it's beautiful. It's touching. Of course, we know it ends poorly. And then again, as I have mentioned at the very start, I had my objectives and one of them has been fulfilled, hasn't it? We've made Rachel Amber. Oh, another thing I wanted to desperately remark on, of course, is the fact that the clothes were torn, and I don't appreciate that. But I guess that is supposed to be fashionable, even though it... well, it isn't in my eyes. It seems pretty pathetic. Have stuff work, damn it.
Chloe! My pants get lonely without my belt.
I need to investigate everything first. Everything. Look at the poster of Pepe.
Sweet collar, Pepe.
Oh.
Should be life is drama.
You don't have to be so, you know, catty, sassy and all that.
I guess the Prescott donation doesn't cover this. If I'd known acting meant getting to play with weapons, I totally would have auditioned for the Tempest.
I bet you would have. Bet you would have. Right. Oh, look at this. We have a scene to make our mark. Ah, this is the one that's gonna be graffitied. Okay.
Rachel Amber, drama star and guardian angel. I still can't believe that was her last night.
Halo for Rachel, horns for Nathan. Obviously a halo for Rachel, please. Of course, I still have no clue.
Save my life. Get some ink. Definitely an improvement.
Yeah, I still have no idea why Rachel Amber actually connected with her in such a way. Is this organic? Or is this something...
Did you find the belt? It should be in my bag.
I'm genuinely contemplating whether this is a supernatural occurrence or whether she knows something I don't. Hypothetically, it could just be that they've bumped into one another and that's it.
Must be 100 costumes in here. Am I the only student who's not in this show?
Quite possibly.
Sometimes you just gotta turn up the heat.
Well, all the pencils. I know it was you, Hayden. What's he doing with the pencils then? What is he doing exactly?
I'm gonna guess it's from Logan.
Dana, you are very beautiful. Do you want to go out? I would be into that. Logan, guess who? Guess who? I mean, yes, we have established that the guy may very well be trying to be nice and subtle and romantic and any...
Rachel asked me to get her belt. I guess it's in the other room?
Yes, quite possibly. Yeah, but he just fails miserably. Because he's a lunkhead. Alright, let's investigate all of these things. Snooping as usual, I see. What do we have here? Rachel Amber will suck as Prospera. What? If Victoria Chase had any talent, maybe she would have gotten the part.
Chloe! My pants get lonely without my belt.
Talent, is that what you got? Mr. K to... Is that what you got Mr. K to cast you? Oh dear.
RA will suck as Prospera. If VC had any talent, maybe she would have gotten the part.
Talent? Is that what got Mr. K to cast you, slut?
Guess they don't call it Drama Lab for nothing.
Indeed. Technical considerations aside, yes. Should we add a comment? Would Chloe add a... Of course Chloe Price would add a comment.
What to say? What to say?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Does this also count as a graffiti? Slut shake. Oh, come on. Then you're affirming. No. Rachel Amber is an angel.
Playing the part of the bitter, passed over, talentless hack. VC. Suck a D, VC. This poster definitely says something.
Although the more I think about it, the more the potentially promiscuous...
Did you find the belt? It should be in my bag.
The potentially promiscuous nature of Rachel Amber might be her undoing, might it not?
Hey now. Sharing is caring.
Pencils for stage manager only, aka Steph. They really have a problem with pencils. Yes, that might be an important detail to remember further down the line.
To internet or not to internet? I have feelings about this. Most of them are not good feelings.
We have seen this already.
Why do theater kids take themselves so seriously?
The what now? The Tempest. Rachel Amber playing Prospera, a newcomer to Blackwell Academy. Rachel Amber blew the doors off her audition with a heartbreaking reading of Blanche from Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire. There's so many things I ought to acquaint myself with. Oh dear. Other interests include athletics, debate team, boosters fundraising, local history, and nature. Rachel hopes to one day grace the stages of Broadway and the silver screen of Hollywood. Nathan Prescott, playing Caliban, a favorite son of the oldest and most influential family in Arcadia Bay. Nathan hopes this performance of the Tempest will only further the legacy of the Prescott name at Blackwell Academy. Playing Caliban has been a challenge for the sophomore who enjoys sports, photography, and casual hangouts with his many friends. You can mostly see Nathan being horribly bullied and mistreated over here, which presumably will just amp up and lead to, well, horrible things, including his demise further down the line. Was he always fated to have things end so poorly? Oh, so poorly? Was that the case? I get it. He's already on medication as far as I can tell. He's already got problems. Problems will presumably get horribly, brutally exacerbated by his treatment. Was all of this preventable? I wonder. And how? How much of a victim is he in all of this? Yeah, it seems quite a few people are involved. Oh yeah, and when I mentioned Rachel Amber ultimately possibly being a victim of her own desires, it also occurred to me that I might not have mentioned earlier how it also occurred to me that the same absolutely goes for the protagonist over here, Chloe Price. After all, we know what happens and what kickstarts the entire plot in the original, right? It is precisely this sort of disregard for personal safety, disadventurousness, etc. that leads her to, well, find herself in horrible circumstances. She will have been drugged, nearly raped, and then murdered by Nathan Prescott. All of which could have been avoided had she had other habits, you know, a different lifestyle. But no, that lends itself towards that said fate. Same might be the case with Rachel Amber to an extent. But then again, of course, if you look at the vanilla version of the game, if you look at Life is Strange, you will note that our dear protagonist Maxine over there is this perfectly innocent little flower, and, well, that doesn't necessarily shield her, protect her, does it? Not really. She is slated to be the next victim. Although, being somewhat level-headed protects her. And being level-headed isn't necessarily a lifestyle choice, although, and this will be one of the final remarks on this subject at this point in time, maybe the lifestyle is an upshot of being or not being level-headed to an extent. Maybe this sort of cautious nature, this cautious conservative approach of Maxine, not necessarily in a political sense, but, you know, in the casual sense of the word, might have been, helped her. Anyway, let's read on. Dana Ward, playing Miranda. A sophomore, Dana has performed in 2 other productions at Blackwell Academy since her freshman year. Dana enjoys football, Go Bigfoots, social media, and school dances. She hopes to be a member of the Vortex Club when she's a senior. I never got the point of that, really. Like, okay, you're a senior, so you've got about a year left at that sort of an institution. How exactly... What exactly is the point of joining that sort of an association? So you're basically it's a sort of a social club. For about a year? That's it? Really? Is there a point to it? So you're entering a given place and interacting with a given set of people, only to be swept away, to leave possibly forever, in a year. Presumably never see them again. What's the point? But then again, there very well may be a point. Maybe things that are transient aren't necessarily completely pointless. Life is transient in a way, isn't it? Well, that doesn't obviously that doesn't mean that life isn't pointless. It kind of is. It's really easy to argue. Anyway, Hayden Jones playing Ferdinand. This show marks the introduction of Hayden Jones to Blackwell Academy's drama club. He auditioned on Adele, and as it turns out, actually really digs acting. A sophomore, his other interests include playing sports, herbals, and taking long walks in the woods. Juliet Watson playing Ariel. Juliet's primary interests include journalism and social activism, but she is very excited to be debuting this spring in the role of Ariel, the capricious and powerful spirit Prospera has enchanted and bound to do her magical bidding. Interesting. So it's not Prosper being led by magical spirits, but rather controlling them. Huh. Travis Keaton directing, a veteran of Broadway. Sorry, no, not Blackwell Academy. No, a veteran of Broadway. Travis Wilbury Keaton serves the prestigious Blackwell Academy as a teacher of the dramatic arts, mentor, and friend. He hopes this humble reinterpretation of Shakespeare's masterpiece can inspire the next generation of the country's leaders to strive for greatness and never to forget his motto, Ars Gratia Artis. This is a Shakespearean play that I'm unfamiliar with. Oh goodness. Is this better? Is this more or less bad actually than not knowing Blade Runner? But this happens to be the case. You have all these sorts of works that mention other works. You gotta start somewhere though. There's a good reason I'm not necessarily acquainted with. Whatever. Stage manager Steph Gingrich, Tech Cruz, Adam Glenn, Gina Yao, Stella Hill, Jason Redford. Sound design by Brooke Scott. Program cover and poster by Evan Harris. Special thanks to Principal Wells, Rose Amber, Caroline Prescott, Helen Christensen, Bernadette Hoyda, Samuel Taylor, and especially the Prescott Foundation. Boy, they really support the arts, don't they?
Hey now. Sharing is caring.
Okay, I've been for this, I've been for that, I've been over all this. Look at the bag.
That's the nicest backpack I've seen in my life.
Chloe, I think you're over-egging the omelet a little bit. Seriously, Rachel Amber is so perfect. Even her backpack is the best you have ever seen in your existence. Really? Everything about her is perfect. I mean, it's kind of rubbing off on me. I get it. I also get the impression that she's absolutely wonderful. But still. How are we doing on those little illustrations? Halo included. Next up, moving canvas. It's not this. It's not this. Moving canvas. I don't want to miss out on any one of these things. I really don't. It's reasonably important to me. Haven't gotten all the collectibles on my first try and Life is Strange. I do want to...
Chloe! My pants get lonely without my belt.
There was a joke about getting into her pants somewhere out there. Find the belt. Presumably find something else as well. What else can you find?
Rachel looks so happy here.
Okay, this tells me nothing. Okay, Chloe, I get it. Rifling through someone's...
Here's Rachel's belt.
Why would...
Guess I'll go give this to Rachel now.
Thank you. Do you have that written on your hand? Yes, of course you do.
That's the nicest backpack I've seen in my life.
Gotta love how idiot-proof this game is. You're very, very explicitly told in no uncertain terms exactly what you are meant to do at each stage. Dear oh dear. Why would she even ask her for the belt retrieval? Why? What is happening here?
Rachel? Is this your belt?
Yes! Thank you.
Well, do we throw it? Or do we go over there? Well, this is a rather interesting proposition, especially since we're dealing with two women over here. What is the proper protocol in these circumstances? Especially considering the nature of the situation. Okay, not just considering the nature of the situation, considering that we're dealing with Chloe F. and Price over here. However, I will allow myself this. This is not ordinary behavior for Chloe Price here, is it? No, she's taken aback. She's acting kinda shy in all of this. So tell you what, I'll say that she's somewhat intimidated by Rachel Amber being so enamored with her, and she's going to throw the belt over rather than handing it. Okay, here you go.
Here you go.
Literally, yes.
Ow! I didn't say attack me with.
One point of damage.
Sorry.
Chloe, you haven't really... Come on, you haven't really done damage with that. Come on now.
Chloe Price.
Rachel Amber.
Last night was amazing.
Getting attacked was amazing. You gotta be Chloe Price. Always be Chloe Price. But have I gotten it too much into my head? What Chloe Price is... Yes, the Price is right. What Chloe Price is like? Is it that now I'm essentially pigeonholing her and driving her deeper and deeper into this mode of thinking, completely pointlessly, rather than hopefully helping her branch out a bit? But no, the way I look at it, and the way I've mentioned it before, she's not going to give a straightforward compliment, quite frankly. Well, to anything. Quite frankly, even in these circumstances, I don't think were I to pick the option on the left, she would have said something straightforwardly positive and optimistic. Although, we gotta take into account that she's not in her usual frame of mind. But, I think a more Chloe Price sort of thing to say is the option on the right. Getting attacked was amazing, really? You think that risky experience was good and awesome and great? Let's not forget that stressful circumstances bring people together.
You call getting attacked by goons amazing? I've got to hang out with you more.
Deal. To tell the truth, I went to bed last night wishing it never had to end. But then I thought, why? Why does it have to end?
It certainly... Maybe it doesn't. Well, Rachel, I'm afraid it does have to end. You're going to die gruesomely.
Maybe it doesn't have to end.
Exactly. How would you like to join me on a little field trip?
I'd be delighted. Has Rachel Amber gone rogue?
Ditch class. You mean it?
Is that weird?
No, it's awesome.
No, it's not.
Let's get the hell out of here.
No! You were the chosen one! You were supposed to bring Chloe Price on the right path, not derail her. Bring structure into her life, not lead her to truancy.
You sure you don't want to just grab the bus, or...?
Nope. If we're gonna go rogue, we're doing it right.
No! Rachel!
Well?
What the hell am I getting into here?
What the hell are you getting into, though?
Where does this thing go?
North? Maybe we'll end up in Seattle.
Max. Do you want to end up in Seattle? Chloe?
Pull up a chair, Price. The view's amazing.
Rachel wants me to pull up a chair? Maybe one of these crates.
Symbols! The wind! Lighthouse! But yes, I have been betrayed in a way most foul. I wanted her to make it to class. I wanted her to study. I wanted to help. Of all the people. Rachel Amber. Rachel Amber got her to skip class. Why? Why? It didn't even occur to me at any point that this would be the thing that would transpire over there. I figured it was just an implication. Oh, you know, in our free time after school on the weekend, we could go on a little trip someplace. No, she meant right then and there. The adventure continues. I don't want the adventure. I don't want the adventure to continue. I want life to be mundane and filled with activities that are safe, predictable, and boring, possibly even tedious. Nothing outside of my comfort zone, my goodness. Who'd ever want that? What a line of thinking. Once again, I gotta think like Chloe Price. Gotta beat Chloe Price. No, I haven't gone mental. Hold on. By the way, anytime I do this sort of thing in any sort of recording, I immediately figure to myself, hold on, someone might get the misguided impression that I'm reading chat. But first of all, I'm not live streaming this, and second of all, even if I was, no one would be watching. So the very idea is preposterous. So no, I'm just responding to the thoughts popping in my head as I'm desperately trying to formulate them. Because, you know, some of the time I don't necessarily explicate them immediately because for all I know they're not going to be the greatest. But yes, at this point I was desperately trying to ask myself, hold on, am I wrong on this? Am I completely crazy? Am I just being too harsh on her? And I should absolutely be more harsh on myself? No, not necessarily. I don't think my expectations over here are built up too high. I don't think what I am suggesting is that off the wall. I don't think I'm being too unreasonable over here. I don't think I'm being unreasonable at all. My expectations are fairly modest. I would have expected Chloe Price alongside Rachel Amber to, you know, not skip class on that particular instance, but to attend and maybe do something afterwards. And if they don't have enough time afterwards, maybe do something on the weekend. Something, you know? I don't think they lead lives that are so incredibly busy that they cannot possibly find it within that time frame to do something crazy and amazing, and then they have summer holidays and so on, which last basically forever. They're not bogged down by professional or family life. They have so much time, so much unstructured time they could spend on adventurous pursuits. The fact that they choose to rip chunks out of the structured time, the few bits that are supposed to be dedicated to scholarly pursuits, yeah, that doesn't sit well with me. Well, in case you weren't able to tell, yes, it doesn't sit well with me. Duh. I have 2 more pages over here as far as the journal is concerned. I have an SMS and I have another entry, at the very least one over here on the personnel page. So I presumably should get on with these, if for no other reason than to not have this pile up. Hey, Elliot. Listen, mate. Your history. I don't care. No. You're gone. It's all about Rachel Amber now. It's always been Rachel Amber and always will be. You're a nobody. Hey, why weren't you in Cam? Everything okay? Yup! What happened with Drew? People saying you were awesome. What? Wait, what? What's happening with Drew? What?
Drew was the guy who was bothering Nathan.
Wait, what event is he referencing? What has been going on here? What happened with Drew? I have no idea. I have no idea who he's referencing. Yo, let's talk later. Okay. Presumably there'll be no talking later. Moving canvas! Moving canvas! We're moving in a thing, and you can draw on it. That's the moving canvas! Haha! Progress is being made! Yes, I'm so glad that we are progressing towards the end of this silly chapter. Although, let's be very clear here. The D&D bit was the highlight of the entire thing for me. I don't think that is going to get trumped by anything at any point further down the line in this particular game. My goodness, was that awesome. If, once again, very basic, very simple, but still, wonderful to behold. Okay, hold on. What are you on the list? Here's Drew. Drew Nolf is Mikey's older brother. And the two of them couldn't be more different. Drew is a legit jock. Like the type that spends hours a day in the gym and has nicknames for his biceps. I've never been to a Bigfoot's game, but I hear he's actually really good at throwing stuff into other stuff, or whatever. So this goes here, this goes here. I'm pretty sure it goes here. It's a good hypothesis you've got, though. Mikey told me that Drew is planning to go to college on an athletic scholarship, which is good because the family is even poorer than mine. The dad was one of the fishermen who lost his job because of the Prescott Corporation. As you might imagine, this put Nathan on Drew's shit list. Ah, yes, because clearly Nathan is supposed to, be guilty by association, like he had anything to do with it. Not a good list to be on. In the world between a meathead and a shithead, does anyone win? Anyway, I don't think Drew's really a bad guy. Oh, I do. I beg to differ. But then again, we know how things end up with Nathan Prescott. So... Anyway, I don't think Drew's really a bad guy, but I guess I wouldn't know. It's like we exist in two completely different planes of existence. Don't you mean on two completely different planes of existence? That happen to be in the same school. Happy to keep it that way. Yeah, don't want to interact with this fella. He seems awfully aggressive. Nathan, Rachel Amber. Oh yes, Nathan Prescott. Nathan Prescott is the golden child of the Prescotts, Arcadia Bay's oldest, wealthiest, and most powerful family. As they love reminding everyone. Nathan's dad does something nautical related. I think it has to do with murdering baby seals and turning them into death rays for the military. But I can't remember the details. So whatever the case, there's a lot of people in this town who hate the Prescotts, including all the fishermen he put out of work. And you do not want to mess with fishermen. They smell. Nathan is odd. He's extremely privileged, yet dark and brooding. And how is that odd, Chloe? How is that odd? That sounds like the most... Anyway, even though he's a dick, I can't help feeling bad for him sometimes. I guess we're on the same page. Well, yeah, I guess we can be on the same page right up until the moment he tries to, rape you and such. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily ingratiate him with much of anyone, I would gather. But hey, for all I know, he was just taking pictures, which is arguably the weirdest part of Life is Strange from my perspective. Yes, I've looked at that and figured, my goodness, why on earth would there be no sexual abuse associated with all of the horrible and disturbing stuff going on there? It just seemed perfectly slotted for the occasion, and it never happened. But hey, I'm not sure what it says about me that I find... an insufficient quantity of sexual abuse in my entertainment. A problem. He's really just a weird little dude trying to figure out his shit. Well. Sorry, I know I keep interrupting, but my goodness, does this speak to me. He's really just a weird little dude trying to figure out his shit, but he has to pretend to be all this stuff he's clearly not, like an athlete or a cool kid. You can tell it fucks him up inside. We have discovered a bit... I know I'm interrupting, I'm going to keep interrupting, because that's kind of the whole point of this, isn't it? Otherwise you can just read the entire thing and watch another playthrough. Not that you're watching this to begin with, are you? Nonsense. If you're hearing this, then you are. Oh. Anyway, we have discovered as much in the original game, haven't we? That yes, there were these huge expectations, he had big shoes to fill, it makes perfect logical sense. His father was successful, and yes, of course, people overwhelmingly prefer to use the term privilege, don't they? Yeah, like he's got good things. Yeah, I think he's earned good things, or at the very least, even if he was handed down good things, he has maintained good things. He has made use of good things. And he has tried to do good things with those good things. Did he thrust his son into a favorable position? Oh, absolutely. And one could say, hey, wouldn't you? And you can argue that you wouldn't, and good luck with that. But that doesn't change the fact that, say, something like funding the dorms over there at Blackwell Academy, helping fund the arts of all the things, doesn't necessarily sound like a horrible thing, now does it? You have someone earning all this wealth, and then, I get it, you could argue throwing his weight around on one hand, or on the other, you could argue, hey, making charitable donations. And there are, of course, those who would claim, oh, that's just so he would get good PR in order to get more money in order to do what exactly? Because if you place a patrician or something, you can reasonably quickly figure out that once you get enough wealth, you probably want power. Once you get power and you get wealth, all too often, surprisingly enough, you just want to do what's right. You want to make other people happy. You want to share the wealth. You want to benefit humanity. You want to do all these things, if for no other reason than because there's just only so much you can do for yourself. A certain sense of generosity and a sense of being indebted to society just comes with a lot of money and a lot of power for quite a few people. But hey... ordinarily, in most sort of circumstances, if you're dealing with someone who's rich, the most natural instinct among the petty, the impoverished, and, you know, the generally bitter and envious is to immediately dislike them. Oh my goodness, he's got money. He must be an evil man. He must have earned all of that money in dishonest ways. But yes, as mentioned, Nathan Prescott has reasonably big shoes to fill, and he's blamed for things he's had nothing to do with, not personally. He's expected to do things he has never chosen for himself. All of these expectations in every single facet of life are just building up. People both love him and hate him for things he's got nothing to do with. Something he has never accomplished, something he has never done. Little wonder it messes with him. Wouldn't it mess with you? Imagine that the way you're treated by everyone out there has pretty much nothing to do with who you actually are. Ha! Well, I guess that about sums up basically any sort of form of prejudice, doesn't it? Except, of course, that this once again may seem somewhat surprising, at least to some, because here we're dealing with a form of prejudice that ultimately is aimed at someone whose family, not who's got a lot of money, but whose family has got a decent bit of money, wealth, and all that, and poor. So, unusual. But he is a victim in all of this, as much as one might be tempted to avoid stating that. Anyway, let's continue with the final paragraph. As I tend to go on tangents, these are unnecessary tangents, but I do tend to love the sound of my own voice, which is kind of the point of all of these. Thank goodness I'm recording this. Otherwise, I would just be sitting here saying these things to no one in particular. And not having that, of course, immortalized. Of course, the best cure for feeling bad for Nathan is to actually... Of course, the best cure for feeling bad for Nathan is to actually talk to Nathan. Isn't that right? Then you remember what a wonderfully punchable face those Prescott jeans gave him. Yes, which is another problem, that David Prescott is also a horrible human being. Yes, he's also a bit of an asshole, you could argue that, and you'd be reasonably correct. That doesn't change what I have stated previously. It's all still perfectly true. It might make you more comfortable to just brush all of that off and figure, oh, no, he's not a victim. He deserves all of this because of the petty reasons I can present, because of the way he's not necessarily particularly nice. I'm blocking part of the text. It doesn't matter. How do you describe Rachel Amber? I've been trying to find the right words ever since we met. Okay, I think we get it. I think we all get it, don't we? The crazy thing about Rachel is that I really should hate her guts. Chloe. I mean, she's a straight A student, beloved by everyone at school, including students and teachers. She's super into acting, and I hear she even does modeling on the side, which I imagine her district attorney dad and Stepford housewife mom support her in. It all sounds like a recipe for awfulness. No, Chloe. It sounds like a recipe for success. She's got she's got the necessary backing, she's got the talent, she's got the attitude, she's got basically everything, and she's making use of it for good. That's not a recipe for awfulness. That's not a recipe for awfulness to any extent. It's not bad to be in a good spot. It's positively Kantian to insist that the only sort of circumstance under which you could possibly do any good is if you are completely disinterested and full of suffering. And then and only then we can know that you're actually acting out of duty rather than any sort of self-interest to begin with. No, preposterous. If you can do the right thing, if you can be nice to people, if you can achieve things, and you do so, why exactly is that supposed to be wrong? Only because you're over here being spiteful and you resent anyone who manages to get things right because you're Chloe Price? You have been dealt a very poor hand and now you're angry at the world and refuse to even bother trying to accomplish anything, so you try to tear people down to feel better about your position? Well, yeah, I presume so, yes. We have established that that is basically what's going on here. Chloe Price doesn't like it when things go well for other people because she's reminded of her own inadequacy, isn't she? Instead of being proud of them and figuring, yeah, that's nice, you have earned that, etc., she'll always just keep on poking, keep on digging, and she'll keep making matters worse. And will only be satisfied when things go poorly, or if she discovers that it was bad all along, so that she can wipe her brow of sweat and figure, okay, it wasn't actually good people doing good things. I knew I was not that bad comparatively. It's the crab bucket sort of mentality. Anyway, let's continue. And yet Rachel somehow is nothing like the privileged golden child type you'd expect. She's not like any type, actually. She's probably the most surprising person I've ever met. And that's not just because when we met she was helping me take down some skeevy assholes at a rock show, but it's just this feeling she gives off. Like when you're with her, anything is possible. Fuck, it really sounds like I have a crush on her, doesn't it? Yes, Chloe, it does, because you do. Here's hoping she reveals something really horrible about herself soon, like a stamp collection or a love for cat memes, something to make her a little less indescribably awesome. I've told you, and I get it to a certain extent. You know and I know that Chloe Price doesn't necessarily mean it, does she? But at the same time, she does, she really does. she knows it sounds preposterous, so she types it up, writes it down and figures out, well, I'm being horribly ironic over here. Oh, I hope I discovered something horrible about her, so I feel a little less bad about myself in comparison. I don't feel like such a lowly peasant being unable to rise to her lofty heights, at the same time being enthralled by her and by her very presence, and feeling inadequate in comparison, feeling unworthy of her. Maybe I can conceptually bring her down to my level. I know how stupid that sounds, but at the same time, it would be nice if it were to happen. Wouldn't it? It would kinda be. That's the problem. As far as I can tell, she genuinely, on a certain level, despite being ironic here, she's twice ironic, she does believe it. If Rachel Amber was a bit less perfect, she'd be more comfortable with the situation because she'd feel less inadequate. Okay, more people left to discover, more things left to read. Max. Have I ever told you about Nathan Prescott, aka Spoiled Dick Baby? Anyway, you know that old question about what if you could go back in time and assassinate Hitler? Well, I worry I just stopped that assassination when I got between Nathan and an ass beating by Drew. Football jock and an all-around angry teenager. Maybe I'm getting soft in my old age. Spoke to Elliot too, he was super nice, as always. He wanted to hang out, as always, and I blew him off, as always. Poor guy, he's super persistent. It must be hard trying to give a shit about me. Speaking of giving a shit, I actually played a game with Steph and Mikey this morning. It wasn't terrible, but I'm not sure I have the energy to consistently care that much about anything. And here I am trying to consistently care about you, Chloe Price. Even though I struggle, and every single time it feels like a chore, and it feels like... No, it feels like I'm not going to do an adequate job. It feels like I'm not going to do her justice, because, you know, I want to do that. I want to give her my all, I want to give her my attention and everything. I hope I'm doing an okay job. I probably should be concerned about how little a shit I give these days, but that would mean giving a shit, wouldn't it? Chloe, the Catch-22. Yes. Yes, Chloe. I wish, you know, you'd insist a bit less on just pointing out all of these flaws and you'd work a smidgen on figuring out a way to correct them. You know, I say that, but then again, once again, go a step further, Vestin. I think the whole problem is that these things can't really be solved. Not just because the entire plot is set in stone, because from her perspective it isn't, not at this stage. But because ultimately... Because what? I don't know. I just get the impression that sometimes in life you ultimately... You crash your waves on the stones of inevitability. You come across certain obstacles you simply cannot overcome, and that's about it. So you can conceptualize the problem right in front of you as much as you want. You're not going to be able to do anything about it. All you can do is map out its boundaries, but you're not going to be able to get around it. You're not going to be able to go through it. All you can possibly do is end up bashing your head against it, and that's not particularly productive. So if all she ever does is ultimately point out what is there, and then do nothing about it, that might not necessarily be such a bad thing, mostly because, for all I know, there's nothing she can do about it. But I know that that's not true, don't I? I know that that's not true. There are very simple ways in which she could improve her life. Very simple, minute improvements. That would make everything better. It would have far-reaching consequences, too. Seriously, it would all just start out with her, I don't know, attending class on a regular basis, trying to put more effort into her education. It's a start. I'm not saying it would fix her life overnight and in its entirety, but it would be a start. It would set her on some constructive path. There are other minute improvements here and there that could certainly help. For instance, she could endeavor to have a better relationship with her mother, possibly with David Madsen. It's not that these things are impossible. I understand that they take effort. They don't take a great deal of effort. It's not a grandiose adventure. I get it. And she was excited about grandiose adventure, wasn't she? In D&D terms. It's not a grandiose adventure. It's very little things done consistently, but it makes sense. Okay, further down the line. Max, I know what you're thinking. No, Chloe, you don't. Max, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, when is she finally going to talk about Rachel Amber? Playing Life is Strange, you know, the vanilla game. I was wondering when she would ever stop. We've spent the first game with Rachel Amber being this invisible tetragonist, and now we have Max over here as absent and yet present over here in the journal. Incredible. Back then it was all, oh, Rachel Amber. Now it's all Max. So what, with all of her focus on the here and now, she can't even do that right? You're thinking, when is she finally going to talk about Rachel Amber? Well, fine, you nosy bitch, here it is. Rachel Amber is the most popular girl at school, and she's super into hanging out with me all of a sudden. Like this morning when she pulled me into the drama lab and asked me for my expert opinion about true love in front of the whole class. And I told her true love is the best way to get parents to buy tickets. That's not all you've told her. Miss Price. Mr. Kid and the drama teacher seem to agree. You did also mention another perspective, haven't you? That you're not even willing to write down in your journal. Because you're not willing to be honest even with yourself or with imaginary Max, whichever you prefer. And imaginary Max is just an extension of your psyche, isn't she? Then Rachel brought me into her dressing room. Gotta say, that was the quickest I've gone from meeting someone to helping them get dressed. But that's Rachel. She doesn't give a fuck. She just lets it all hang out. Then Rachel hatched this crazy plan for us to skip school together that involves jumping onto a train. You know, like kids ditched school in the 60s, the 1860s. Stay tuned, Max. I have a feeling there will be a lot more to tell you soon. Chloe, love doctor. MD or PhD, Chloe? Remember, people, they're not out on a date, they're out on an adventure. To see the sights, talk about anything and everything, and get to know one another better, just the two of them. To marvel at the totally wholesome adventure, watch the next part of my Life is Strange Before the Storm playthrough. Thanks for watching, and you will see me elsewhere.